Join our family of creators. Your support means the world to us. Subscribe now to the Content Creator channel. Your support keeps us motivated and helps us bring you fresh, exciting content every week. Hit that subscribe button and be part of our journey. Alright, let's talk about something big. And I mean really truly monumentally big. Imagine you've been watching the same movie for 75 years. You know the characters, you know the plot. You're pretty sure you know how it ends. Then, right in the middle of the third act, 3 of the main characters suddenly walk off screen, join the other side, and declare the movie's over. That is essentially what just happened in global politics. For decades, the question of a Palestinian state was stuck in a "we'll get to it later" pile. But on September 15, 2025, 3 of America's closest allies, the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, decided later is now. They formally recognized the state of Palestine. In doing so, they didn't just nudge the chessboard, they flipped the whole damn table over. This wasn't a minor diplomatic shuffle. This was coordinated, seismic. Think of these 3 countries as America's reliable friends. For them to break ranks on a core foreign policy issue is staggering. You might be asking yourself, why now? What's so special about September 2025? It wasn't made on a whim, it was the result of a perfect storm. Mounting public pressure, political frustration, a series of recent events. For years, public opinion has been shifting in the UK, Canada, and Australia. Citizens watched a cycle of violence, the expansion of settlements in the West Bank and the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. They grew increasingly impatient. Protests, petitions, social media campaigns hammered politicians. Add to that the political landscape in Israel. The current government, the most right-wing in the nation's history, openly hostile to a 2-state solution. Then came the catalyst, the brutal escalation in Gaza earlier this year. Images of destruction and a staggering civilian death toll were broadcast worldwide. That created a tidal wave of international outrage. It was a calculated risk. For Israel, this is nothing short of a diplomatic nightmare. The country has always relied on a core group of Western allies, led by the United States, to shield it from international pressure, particularly at the United Nations. This diplomatic Iron Dome has blocked countless resolutions and investigations. Now, 3 key pillars of that shield have just walked away: United Kingdom, Canada, Australia. The recognition of Palestine by the UK, Canada, and Australia isolates Israel in a way it hasn't been since its founding. It sends a clear message that even its staunchest friends have a breaking point, and that point has been reached. The immediate response from Israel was to recall its ambassadors from all 3 countries, a move that signals a deep and painful diplomatic rupture. The practical implications for Israel are severe. With these countries now recognizing Palestine, Israel can expect a new level of scrutiny and opposition in international forums. Imagine trying to argue that the West Bank isn't occupied territory when 3 G7 nations officially recognize it as part of another sovereign state. This move also creates a massive headache for the United States. America's long-standing policy has been to act as Israel's primary defender, but now, it's not just defending Israel against its traditional adversaries, it's defending it against its closest allies. The country is now at a crossroads, forced to confront the consequences of its choices on a lonely new stage. For Palestinians, this moment is electric. After decades of occupation, displacement, and failed negotiations, the formal recognition by 3 major Western powers feels like a profound validation of their long struggle for self-determination. For years, the Palestinian identity has been debated and often denied on the world stage. This act says, unequivocally, that Palestine is real, that its people have rights, and that its quest for statehood is legitimate. In the streets of Ramallah, Hebron, East Jerusalem, this news was met with celebrations not seen in years. Practically speaking, this recognition is a diplomatic superpower upgrade. It strengthens the Palestinian Authority's hand in international arenas. They can pursue legal action against settlement construction at the International Court of Justice and at the International Criminal Court. When Palestine speaks at the United Nations, it will speak not as a petitioner but as a state. However, this victory is not a magic wand. It does not instantly end the Israeli occupation. The checkpoints are still there, the settlements keep expanding, the blockade of Gaza remains. Ultimately, the greatest value may be the renewed sense of hope, a crucial, fragile glimmer of light. This coordinated move by the UK, Canada, Australia isn't just a story about them, it's about the dominoes they've just set in motion. The biggest question buzzing in foreign ministries around the globe is, who's next? All eyes are now on the rest of Europe. Countries like Ireland, Spain, Norway, Belgium have already been making strong moves in this direction for years. With the cover provided by 3 major English-speaking nations, it is highly likely that they will feel emboldened to follow suit. We could be on the verge of a recognition cascade, where a wave of European nations formally recognizes Palestine in the coming months. The pressure is now squarely on the European Union's heavyweights, France and Germany. Beyond Europe, this decision reverberates across the globe. It strengthens the position of countries in the global south, Latin America, Africa, Asia, that have long recognized Palestine. They can now point to this and say, "We told you so." This could also impact Israel's burgeoning relationships with some Arab states like UAE and Bahrain, who signed the Abraham Accords. While those governments want to maintain ties with Israel, they will face renewed pressure from their own populations, who are overwhelmingly pro-Palestinian. Looking ahead, the key thing to watch is the United States' response. Will the Biden administration stick to its old script, or will it recognize that the ground has shifted beneath its feet? A change in U.S. policy, however unlikely, would be the final and most decisive domino. The old map of Middle East diplomacy has been torn up, and a new one is being drawn right now.